You think I've got a sharp tongue? I just tell it like it is.
I have to check on my phone.
If someone can't handle it,
stream preview is not
maybe
working.
that's their problem.
And I need to make sure. I don't really want to spend a huge amount of effort on this stream. Okay, it works on my phone. That is good to know. Hello. How is everyone doing? I realize I'm doing this stream talking about Inversion of Genesis. I don't think my upload for... I did play Inversion of Genesis. The upload is not finished processing yet. When it does that, you'll see it. Unfortunately, it's not there yet. But I did play it. So yeah, obviously, there's going to, as I put in the stream title, major spoilers for Inversion of Genesis. I just need to say my piece about everything there is to say that I didn't already say at 1 in the morning last night when I actually played the Archon quest. Alright, we're not going the right way. Yeah, while I'm doing this, I'm gonna finally follow that Sumpter Beast all the way, because I just cleared out everything in its path, and we're finally gonna get the achievement for following the Sumpter Beast. So hello, how are all of you? I'm sure not many people are gonna watch this because most people haven't done it. Okay, so first of all, it was a surprise to me you could name Scaramouche. So I named him Yuki because he wanted a new name. I wasn't gonna give him any of the names of his past, and apparently if you try naming him Scaramouche or anything like that, he's like, I don't want you to call me that anymore. So it works. And it was snowing outside, and I wanted him to have a Japanese name, so I called him Yuki. That being said, it's like, I don't know how I feel about being the one to give him a name. It's like, sure, I guess. Then the first thing I did afterwards was where are you going? Went on the internet to see, to fulfill my suspicions of, did everybody else... What is going on? Oh, they're just retweeting stuff about the new Fire Emblem game. Okay, I was wondering when my phone's going bzz, bzz, bzz. It's because they're just retweeting stuff. Okay, well anyway, yeah, I think Yuki is a pretty good name considering some of the other. I'm so sorry. That was the wrong button. No. We're gonna go back. Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. Please, I need to get this. I want to get this Sumpter Beast achievement at some point. I swear. Come on. I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm not gonna hurt you. I literally went on this path before. I cleared the whole thing to make sure the Sumpter Beast would not get hurt by anything I need to defend myself from. No. It's not safe. Not safe yet. Okay, anyway, that being said though, what I was gonna get to saying is I used the item to change his name. I was gonna change his name back to Wanderer, and the reason is, well, Yuki's a good name for him. I think I will keep that as like my nickname for him. However, for me, it's just like, I don't know how I feel about like giving him a name. I almost feel if he wants a new name, he should be the one to do that. I know that's not the way they structured it in the game. But it's just like, I'm just gonna call him Wanderer. And then also that also deals with the indecisiveness in case I come up with a better name. There's some good names I've seen. A lot of other, thankfully, I'm glad there's a lot of other people up there who also kind of thought the same thing of, well, let's give him a Japanese name and let's give him a name that kind of has to do with his newfound growth and new life, like his new beginning. So it's like I think a feather is very much like a snowflake, and also it's snowing outside. That's really it. It's snowing outside. You stop being angry at me, please. Just keep. Okay. The bird's back. That means. Sorry. You know what? I will just keep him off the party so I don't feel like accidentally hitting. Okay. We are just gonna watch the Sumpter Beast while I continue to tell the story. Okay. But yeah, the thingy disappeared, but then I googled like a Reddit page or something, and like I was like, oh yeah, the same thing happened to me. I tried to change his name with the item, and then it didn't, kind of just absorbed the item and didn't change his name. So, well, that's fine either way for me. I don't mind calling him Yuki. I also don't mind if he's the Wanderer. So, like, I've thought about it. It's like, it's fine for me either way. But at the same time, they should probably fix that, considering if the item just gets absorbed and it doesn't do what it's supposed to do, that's not the way the item's supposed to work. Also, if I keep his name Wanderer, it'll help me, like, you know, be able to avoid spoilers for, like, us spoiling other people, because I'm nice that way. And then whatever name I think of, if I ever change my mind of what I'd want to call him, it's not set in stone. Like, oh, but I picked this name way back. Well, although it is, because you can see I named him like that, this, and it's not bad compared to some of the other ones I've seen that I'm pretty sure. Like, I see a lot of people did not expect, including myself, did not expect that the name we chose would be, like, on his, like, character profile or everything like that. So, you know, like, some people's like, what? I thought it was only going to be in the teapot. I'm like, oh, I am so sorry if you named him based off of, you thought it would only be on the teapot, because that's quite unfortunate. Yeah, I guess what I really want to talk about is the whole situation of him being erased from existence. I know there's probably going to be a lot of controversy on that, and but the thing is, whether you're okay with it or you hate that ending and you don't like it, either way, I can definitely tell it's very much like Spider-Man No Way Home. Not just the fact that in both cases somebody got erased from existence, but from the fact that the way that the story writers did it, it was very purposeful, in that they very purposely wanted to absolutely brew a lot of conflict and discussion amongst viewers, and also, you know, not have there be any sort of consensus of what needs to take place. Okay, good. I did pick the right path. Yeah. There's no, like, they definitely wrote a story with the purposes. There's not going to be consensus over whether the answer of what he chose to do was right or wrong. It's just like, how do you cope with the fact that this happened? And so, first of all, the fact that he gets erased from existence, like, I think, although I don't personally like it, I can totally see from his perspective why he'd want to do it. And it's not really for any sort of selfish reason. He's doing this because he feels like he's partial. First of all, his own story, his own past was so terrible already. Only for him to go to Irminsul and find out it was all just based off of, like, lies and Dottore messing, like, basically destroying his entire life just to get him as, like, a test subject for creating segments in artificial life. Like, basically, all the people who died in his mind because of him, because of himself, Scaramouche, because he got all, like, the whole thing at Tatarsuna and the furnace and all that, he already had all these, like, really painful and torturous memories in the past. But then he comes up with the revelation from Irminsul that it was all for nothing. If you were in that position, I think it's understandable that you'd want to take any chance you have, even if it's a slim chance, to try and make things right, First of all, because his own past was so horrible, but more importantly, he did it because he was hoping there might be a chance the other people might be able to live a peaceful life and not die the way they did. It didn't turn out that way, but, I mean, like, he wanted to be able to at least try, even if that meant basically sacrificing himself. And for him, it was a noble cause because, you know, he was already thinking to himself before, I sometimes wish I was never even born. And by doing that, I think in his mind, he was, I don't want to hit the subject base. He was thinking, at least he can go out helping other people have a chance at living a full life when they basically got killed because of one evil person trying to get basically destroying the entirety of Tatarasuna and the villagers and all the swordsmiths and furnace workers and everything, killing them, basically cutting Niwa's heart out of his body and handing that to Scar, which is some like absolutely disgusting backhanded slap at his desire for a heart. It was, yeah, he definitely wanted to change that version of the past, and not really for like any sort of reason to help himself, but more for reasons of wanting to make things better for everyone else. So, okay, I just want to establish that because I see from his perspective, it wasn't necessarily a bad thing. Yay, Sumpter Beast. I think after a certain point, it's okay if the Sumpter Beast dies. I don't want it to die, though. I'd really rather it not. Anyway, but, yeah, I just want to establish that I don't think there's anything wrong with his reasoning for doing what he did before I go into why it makes me feel really unsettled. It doesn't sit well with me. It does not exactly. It's not a. Is this the one I need to do, or who else is there? You. Where is the sun? Where are you going? And how do I know?
That's close enough.
Okay. Now it's angry, so I assume this is when which is the... I start fighting people here now. Okay, everybody hold hands. Come on. Good enough. No. Okay, I'm gonna try avoiding hitting some other beasts, but that being said, might be hard. But, I mean, okay, can I spoil Spider-Man No Way Home too? I'm sure that movie's been up for a year, I'm sure I could do that. It's been a year already? Wow, I watched that movie with my friends. Okay, lengthy reunion. I guess I finished the Sumpter Beast quest. That's good to know. But it's like, I was so distraught about it last night. I couldn't sleep at all after. And then I just went and I told my mom all about it this morning. And she told me, like, well, I described it to her, like, do you remember Spider-Man No Way Home? Well, this thing happened in Genshin Impact, one of my favorite characters, and I don't know how I feel about it. So, well, these kinds of stories are meant to, we both like reading books, we both like stories. So these kinds of stories are designed to make you feel that way. They're designed to make you feel like it's something. So you're talking about something paradoxical in nature. So this is the kind of thing that's not supposed to happen in real life. I mean, hopefully it's not happening in real life and we just have forgotten. But yeah, it's the kind of thing that's not supposed to happen in real life. And so it plays on the fear that some people, that I guess like me, some people, the fear that some of us have that about not being remembered and not having any trace left in the world at all, and not even to like, not even to people really that should remember us.
That's far enough.
That's far enough. See, I'm not glad. I'm really glad I pulled him though. 10th 50-50 win. Okay, that's the one thing to celebrate. But like, it's just. I mean, first of all, it's so much like. It's not that all the things he did doesn't matter anymore. Because he remembers, and we remember, and apparently Nahida was able to salvage some memories of it too. And Paimon was not Paimon. So we know. But like, it just, it really plays on a fear, like, what would happen if you were erased from existence and the people you know and love don't remember you anymore? And similarly, what if somebody you know and love was erased and you don't remember them anymore? For Scaramouche, it's like, well, he doesn't really see himself as having any more worldly connections. But you know the part about this that does bother me the most? Is when I went online and I saw one of the first things people were noticing is A's line about Kunikuzushi is gone. All her voice line mentions of the kabukimono, of the puppet, are gone. And to me, I kind of, first of all, the Naravaruna statue, that actually, I realized once I saw that, that's the part that bothers me the most, really, I think. Because in Spider-Man No Way Home, you know, he goes to the coffee shop at the end. No one remembers who Peter Parker is. He's erased Peter Parker from existence. MJ doesn't recognize him. Ned doesn't recognize him. That's already really sad. But the one solace I get,
there's no need to,
which is kind of ironically very sad, but it is a slight bit of comfort, is that at least in that story, Aunt May has already passed away by that point. Not like she already was gone. At the very least, we don't need to see the pain of her not remembering him. So I think that was not something we had the pleasure of having here, because A is still around. It does not matter to me. To me, it doesn't matter what kind of relationship he and his mother had. This just, in terms of this, like the mere fact, like the idea of like, and I know she doesn't see herself as his mother, even though he does, but like, it just seems like the most cruel paradox possible for a parent to forget that their child ever existed. And then it hit me like, so much of my excitement of wanting playable Scaramouche or more Scaramouche involvement in the story is I had always been dreaming of him and A getting to meet. Like, I would hope that they would be able to reconcile, but even if they didn't, I just would want them to say hello to each other or something. Because following the story, you realize, despite all the things that they might think of each other, the two of them have never spoken in their entire lives. And I've always wanted to see them speak to each other. But now that I've done this quest, now that I've done Inversion of Genesis, that's never going to happen now. Because A doesn't even remember that he existed. Although then people pointed out, if he never existed, then who or what served as the prototype for the Raiden Shogun puppet? That's true. In fact, there's still things about, like, yeah, that, and also the fact that why did Totore go to Tarasuna then if there was no Kabukimono that for him to try and recruit by scarring for life, basically a child with no context of the world, about death and gruesome cutting people's hearts out kind of stuff. That shouldn't have happened if the whole Tatarasuna incident shouldn't have happened if he wasn't there. And also, was there like another prototype puppet that A had when she created the Raiden Shogun puppet? If the Raiden Shogun puppet's still there. And okay, so yeah, those are two loopholes. But I do expect that there's a chance we might hear of that at some point. Like, they will address that, because they don't like to leave loose ends untied either. That's the whole point of this quest, really. But yeah. Like, I very respectfully acknowledge why Scaramouche chose to erase himself. And I also, as somebody who knows how to get into the mindset of writing a story, also understand why the writers would have done this. And it's very purposefully to make us feel conflicted, confused, and in many cases angry. And that's on purpose. But just because I understand the reason why does not make me feel better about what happened. It's like being able to empathize with a feeling, but you can't really. But you understand why. That doesn't mean you have to like it. That's exactly how I'm feeling right now. And it hurts when you understand it and you don't like it, because you can't really argue then that, oh, this is wrong, you can't say it's wrong if you understand and empathize with why it had to happen. So that really just leaves me feeling really empty inside. And that's why I needed to get this off my chest and a live stream and talk about this in front of everybody. Because I think I'm gonna need a break from this game after, well, no. I was gonna do the Hazel Hangout today. I don't have the energy to do the Hazel Hangout today. I think I might do it tomorrow. If I feel like it's gonna make me feel better. If I don't, I will postpone it again. Maybe I will change it to being the Genius Invocation TCG. I don't really know if I'm that excited for Genius Invocation TCG, but we gotta try it out at some point. May as well do that. Okay, that really is the main points I have to say. It's just like, I know there's definitely going to be a variety of opinions on Inversion of Genesis, and I think that's okay, because I'm pretty sure that was the point. Is to tear people apart, really. Not just tear apart like Scaramouche fans and Scaramouche haters, just tear apart everybody who put in any effort to try and comprehend what the story was about. So, yeah, no, conflict and anger and hatred is definitely, I mean, that's definitely like the goal here, really. So, okay, I thought of one more thing to do. Oh, by the way, but first of all, like, I haven't gotten the new artifact set for him, but you might have noticed it. I just gave him like 2-piece attack, 2-piece ammo, damage bonus. Pretty good so far. I'm gonna get the new artifact set for him, and then he's gonna be even better.
Squall Fury.
Cry louder. Yeah, he has like 6 elemental burst voice lines. I love it. Yeah, no, I guess I'm just gonna I'm gonna get used to this. I'm gonna get used to the way things are, and I'll probably either get used to either calling him Yuki or Wanderer, whichever one sticks in the game, and end up calling him both anyway. And Scaramouche. You know I'm just gonna call him Scaramouche. But he doesn't want to be called Scaramouche. But like outside the context of the game, you know we're all just gonna call him Scaramouche. Yeah, that's fun. I'm gonna have fun playing with him. But like I said, I might need a break. The one thing I have to do is do these two say something. Do 2 for 2 people say something different now that they don't remember Lord Scaramouche even exists. Have you heard that this has been a real mess of one of their big projects? The 6 star shons. Okay, this is the same as before. It's wonderful news. Lord Dottore, second harbinger, judging by your tone. Ha, Lady Signora. Yes, but Dottore, Signora died. It said that the 6th Harbinger seat has been left vacant for years. Is that not cause for concern? Okay, why should any seat be, like, middle seat be left vacant? If that's vacant, and they rank them by power, shouldn't they just, like, move everyone else, all of them up a rank? Like, rank them, promote them higher, you know what I mean? That doesn't make sense. Like why would you have a vacant seat if you rank them by power? You would just move them. Okay, but that does confirm it. So I was gonna be like, they used to mention Scaramouche. Do they still mention Scaramouche? No, they don't. So, okay, cool. They put a lot of work into every time somebody gets erased from existence in this game, making sure there's no plot holes. Like besides A and Yaimiko losing their voice line about Scaramouche, a child also loses his voice line about Scaramouche. Okay, but I don't really care that much about child. Well, all he said was like, "Oh, the nose is gone. I guess we're gonna have to get it back now, right?" But yeah, I just need to cope with the fact that I will never get my Scaramouche and A reconciling with each other ending. There would not even be a semblance of a chance of this happening because she doesn't remember him anymore. And I just don't like the feeling of your mother forgetting that you ever existed. I told my own mom this. I told her, please don't ever forget me. And then I just cried I cried. Man, this archon quest literally had me in tears when I woke up this morning. I just cried and cried and cried. All right, that's enough for me. How long has this been going on for? 25 minutes? Cool. We're gonna end this off now. Thank you for watching me spend the whole stream just walking around Samaro and chasing a Sumpter Beast and crying about Scaramouche. And hopefully things will get better. I haven't started editing the summoning video yet. I guess I'll do that soon. So that way I'll make me feel better, because that now that video is just like top 10 things that happen before disaster. I was so happy. I was so cheerful. I was so excited. And now my mood, I've been so excited for Skyrim's replay up now. And then now, all of a sudden, after this Archon quest, my mood has just dropped. It's just hit, like, rock bottom again. And I'm going to need to build this back up. But it's okay. We will all overcome this. Alright, thank you for listening to my spoiler rant of a Inversion of Genesis, and I hope you didn't watch this before playing Inversion of Genesis. So, yeah, have a good day, everyone, and just, you know, just to remind you, the stories are always written to give you food for thought, and I've definitely been fed a lot of food for thought. So, yep. Bye, everyone.